Hi, my name is Jyde Manson, and this is my invasive species project. First is Kogan grass, which is the common name of Kogan grass, and the scientific name is Imperator cylindrica. Aliases for Kogan grass are kunai grass, along grass, and cottonwool grass. Kogan grass replaces native plant species in an ecosystem and can permanently alter an ecosystem, including wildlife and fire regimes. Cutting grass can easily take over resources of a newly planted pine and can cause great loss in crops. It forms dense stands that crowd out native species. Cutting grass is rated top 10 in worst weeds in the U.S. It can outcompete native grasses and forbs that are key to some threatened species such as the gopher tortoise, eastern indigo snake, and Bachman sparrow. It rarely grows as a single plant but quickly forms patches or infestations. The plants can vary in height, standing from 1 to 4 feet tall. Leaves measure from half to a whole inch wide and are usually 12 to 30 inches long. The leaves don't often have a lush green color but come across as yellowish green and may turn the color closer to red during the fall. Often, the white upper midrib of a leaf is not in the center of a blade, which is an identifying feature, as well as the fluffy white seed heads that resemble those of a dandelion, and they normally appear in late spring or early summer. Young infestations are easier to control than older infestations, so for new patches that will eliminate Kogan grass uh, during the course of a growing season. Also, dry periods during the summer help with controlling Kogan grass. Kogan grass is a plant that is native to East Africa and Southeastern Asia. It was introduced to Louisiana accidentally in the early 1900s as a packing material for the purpose of importing goods. It was purposefully introduced in Florida as food for horses and also for erosion control. The first place of introduction of Kogan grass was in Alabama around 1912 and again in Mississippi in 1921. Kogan grass is currently found in southeastern U.S., including Texas all the way to Florida, and traveled as far north as Virginia, as well as being in East Africa and Southeastern Asia. My next invasive species is the brown anole. The common name is the brown anole, and the scientific name is the Anolis sagrai. Aliases for this is the Bahamian anole and Delisagras anole. The brown anole can reach extremely high population density and is capable of expanding its range quickly, then it outcompetes and consumes other species of native lizards in the area. Introducing the brown anole into the United States has altered the behavior and triggered a negative effect on populations of the native Carolina anole, which is also known as the green anole. Brown anoles are usually brownish gray in color with white or yellow patterns on their backs. Males have red throat fins with white or yellow edging, and the snout of the brown anole is shorter than the snout of the green anole. There is no control for the brown anole. It is a common pet sold in many pet stores, while there are established populations of them throughout southeastern U.S. A possible control could be to prevent selling the brown anole in pet stores. The brown anole is native to Cuba and the Bahamas. It was introduced to Florida for the purpose of being pets in 1887 and then spread throughout southeastern U.S. It is currently found in Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, and Hawaii, as well as Cuba and the Bahamas. My next species is the Burmese python, which is a common name, and the scientific name is Python bivitatus. Aliases are African rock python. The pythons usually grow between 16 and 23 feet long, and it is usually dark in color with lighter brown spots or dark brown blotches bordered in black. The python was introduced to Florida in 1992 during Hurricane Andrew, when Hurricane Andrew destroyed the python breeding facility and zoo and then distributed the pythons into the Florida Everglades. In the Everglades, to control the pythons, capturing them and killing them has not really been effective because they reproduce as fast as they have been getting killed. So there are not many major ways to control the Burmese python. The Burmese python is native to tropical South and Southeastern Asia. They were first introduced in Florida on accident by Hurricane Andrew and have been in the Everglades ever since, reproducing rapidly and being a problem. It is currently found in Florida's Everglades, South Africa, and Southeast Asia. Thank you for listening. That was my project on invasive species. The cane toad, also known as the giant neotropical toad or marine toad, is a large terrestrial true toad which is native to South and mainland Central America. It's also shown up in the Caribbean, Oceania area, as well as northern Australia, being introduced as an invasive species. It's native to South and mainland Middle America. It was introduced into Australia from Hawaii in June 1935 in an attempt to control the native grayback cane beetle because the toad's skin is highly poisonous and tadpoles are highly toxic to most animals if ingested. Because of its appetite, the cane toad has been introduced in many regions as a method of agricultural pest control. It's now considered a pest and an invasive species in many of its introduced regions, and it's a danger to both wild and domesticated animals. In 2001, the CSIRO launched the Australian government-funded biological control of cane toad program. The aim of this research was to develop a solution for long-term biological control of cane toads.